Welcome back to the Office Dynasty League podcast. I'm here with your host, Mac White.
What's your name? You didn't introduce yourself?
My name is Mac White.
I hope not.
Oh, no. This is John Yaney. This is my friend Mac. He's joining me as he does every week. And we've got some interesting stuff today.
Yeah. This was, not to brag, this was my idea. Pretty proud of it. John was coming up with some ideas, and I walked in the room and I said, I have an idea, and I don't even care what your ideas are. This is way better than any of your ideas.
That's paraphrased, but it's not off.
And that's what happened. I didn't even hear his. I don't know. We looked at some of them. They're good. They're just not this week good. You know.
Sure. They're not Mac's idea good.
No. So what we have in store for you is we took each ODL team. We looked at their roster. We looked at their points scored, their schedule. Their record, who they've played, just the team, the league's general, I think, like impression of that team right now. And we found an NFL team comp to best match up with that, fantasy team based off how that real life NFL team is doing. We factored in record and roster and storylines and over whether they're underrated or overrated or if there's a panic level.
Sure.
All those things. So just a heads up, on this pod, I realized the Tennessee Titans are catching a lot of strays from me.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been rough, but they're gonna get shat on quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
we apologize to all the Titans fans in the league.
Yeah, thankfully there aren't any. That would be kind of annoying. But
to be fair, there aren't very many Titans fans in general.
No. I bet most of them root for other teams. I would think
most of them are college fans.
They're just college football fans. Yeah.
It's kind of like the state of Ohio just likes Ohio State because the Bengals and Browns are so terrible all the time.
Yes. So we're going worst to first here, just in order of the standings. So no comments on the actual quality of the teams. Just went by order of standings. So that means we're starting with Adrian, and their comp for me is the already mentioned Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
So the reason why I picked the Titans for Adrian is I think by every measure of the word, I think it's been a disaster of a season. I mean, there weren't really any expectations going into the season for either of these teams.
Not really.
But it's still not been good. It just doesn't feel like there's any hope right now. And then also as a bonus, they both reached on Cam Ward. So that's fun.
Incredible. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think Cam Ward went 15th. Which is in a similar place to where guys like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels have gone. But
we'll go back. Caleb Williams went 4th overall.
I'm so sorry. Trevor Lawrence.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Drake May. Yeah.
But Titans is super fair. I actually threw out a comp for Adrian of the Jets.
The Jets. Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Adrian an actual genuine compliment here. He knew when it was time to sell. The Jets seem to never know when it's time to sell.
In the Jets' defense, it's a little easier to sell in our little league than it is for them to sell.
I get that. But Adrian said, I'm not competitive this year. Time to offload some assets. The Jets are coming back from London going, we're not trading anyone, which is an incredible thing to hear after you just lost one of the most hard to watch.
Honestly, the Broncos-Jets game last week, very similar to the treble farm matchup. One team you expect to win, and they both are both horrible, and one of them actually has to win. Yes.
The NFL does allow ties, but tie felt like too good for either of those teams in real life.
Yeah.
I just think it's time. It was time for Adrian to blow it up. It's going to be an awful season. I don't think outside of the people who were unreasonably high on Justin Fields, I don't think anyone thought this Jets season was going to be awesome. And it has not been.
No, yeah. They were considered for me. I just think the Jets have been kind of competitive. They've lost a lot of really close games.
As you said.
Which I think Adrian has too, so I think he's had some close matchups.
The farm's not out of it, but they're out of it.
They're out of it, yeah. All right, so moving on. Next up on the standings list is Dallas. So my comp for Dallas is not Dallas. I did write down Dallas. What team? Okay, no. It is the New Orleans Saints. So the reason I did that is Dallas's team is not talented by any stretch of the imagination. But they're obviously rebuilding, and I think, it's not been a good season, but I think there's some encouraging developments from young players. I think like the quarterback position with Spencer Rattler has been better than expected. They've lost a lot of close games. They've been like, okay, it's not a good season, but like it's a step in the right direction, which is what we've been talking about with Dallas for a long time. And the other thing is, like, I feel like Dallas is generally a pretty respected owner. Like, I feel like we know he'll be back. And I think the New Orleans Saints are the same way. I think like people generally, that's a pretty well run franchise, and they're not always good, but like they'll probably be back pretty soon. Yeah. So they were my comp, the New Orleans Saints for Dallas.
It's a wash. I've got the Saints as well.
There we go. All right.
I wrote down one comment with it, and it is shockingly good despite the record.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like, okay, we thought they'd be... I think the Saints might have been my pick for worst team this year, and they've been bad, but not bottom 3 or 4, I think.
I've referenced this before, but they did a poll before this season, and maybe they do before every season. I just saw it this year. Where it was a fan optimism gauge.
Yeah.
And the Saints came in second to last.
Yeah.
And I think if you took that poll again, they'd be like 20th, which is not good, but it's way better than 31st.
For sure. Yeah.
Just like, hey, Spencer Rattler could be it. And for Dallas, it's like, hey, Emeka Egbuka and Tyler Warren, like, that's the start.
Yeah. I mean, for, what he gave up to get him, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Next up the list, this is so sad. Caleb Trowbridge is the next on the list here. As he's mentioned quite often, been a rough season. This was a tough one for me, but his comp for me are the Baltimore Ravens.
Ouch.
Obviously, very high expectations going in. I don't think Caleb was necessarily like the odds-on, title favorite like the Ravens were, but I think he felt like he had a really good chance, and he still has the talent to win it all. Like, I was looking at his roster, I'm like, man, this is still like up and down, like so good, which the Ravens are the same way. I think like there's a general belief in the AFC North that the Ravens still can win the division. And I think there's probably a general belief still, as long as he doesn't continue the injuries pile on, I think Caleb could easily reach back up to the middle to the top of the standings. But yeah, just ravaged by injuries. Obviously, it's hard to overcome Lamar Jackson and all the players that Caleb's lost.
Yeah, I think there was a graphic a few weeks ago where it was like, here are 8 players that are hurt for the Ravens today, and by the way, all of them are multi-time Pro Bowlers.
Yep.
And it's like, ow.
Yeah.
Ow. Yeah, Caleb is really good. I had a comp for him. I think your comp might be better than mine. But I had the Bengals, and the reason is, when everyone's healthy, when your key guys are healthy, you expect them to win, despite maybe some roster flaws you might see here or there. But when they're not, you just kind of look at it and go, I don't know how they will.
That's fair. Also, I think, the Bengals weren't the odds-on favorite to win a title, but I feel like people thought maybe if they stay healthy and things go right, they could be. So.
You also have to remember, the disappointing seasons for the Bengals keep being 9-win seasons.
Yeah, they'll find a way. I don't know if this year they're going to find a way. I'm a little more optimistic about Caleb's team than I am about the Bengals, I think.
I think if Joe Burrow were healthy, though, we're talking about a 4-2-ish kind of team.
For sure.
And I think that's kind of the same realm we're talking about Caleb's team in.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think... Are any of Caleb's key pieces out for the season? I guess James Conner is out for the season.
I mean, extended period of time. Technically, Burrow's not out for the season.
That's true. That's true.
He's coming back
That's
week
true.
17.
They can hang around, yeah. All right, next is John Yaney, your team. And I had a lot of fun with this one. Your real NFL comp are the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, no.
So the reason why, the Cowboys, they get a lot of publicity. They get a lot of talk. And John, your team, there's always people talking about it.
Well discussed, for sure.
Well discussed. Generally not in a very positive light, just like the Cowboys. But a lot of the publicity, but oftentimes not a lot of the performance to back it up, I got to say. I don't know. Yeah,
it's been a disappointing season, to say the least.
But I think the Dallas Cowboys, honestly, even among all teams, I think they're one of the more exciting teams to watch. And if you consider their record, from teams that are, I think, generally considered not very good, they're maybe the most exciting team to watch. And, John, your team, kind of the same way, where you've got all these high flyers, but, big superstars. But outside of that, maybe... some weaknesses in the in the foundation, which I think is where the Cowboys are at. So
Yeah, to add to the metaphor, the Cowboys have had some surprise emergers to really raise their floor and are somehow still worse.
yeah.
And I feel like I've had some guys, like obviously Rome Odunze is the big name, and Michael Pittman's been having a mostly good season. He's had a stinker this week, but you get all these pieces where it's like, oh, Javante's good, George Pickens is good, Ferguson's like really popping off. Man, when Lamb comes back, we might win our second game. It's like, oh no.
As long as we don't give up 30 points again.
Yeah.
I will say there was one key difference, and this almost kept them away from being my comp. Jerry Jones decided to trade his Micah Parsons, his cornerstone on the defense, for assets, and you will probably never do that.
Well,
so
I treat my guys right.
you treat your guys right.
I
You're a
treat
better
my guys
owner
right.
than Jerry Jones for sure.
Maybe this is an optimistic comp for myself, but I put myself as the 49ers, where it's like, when healthy, yeah, they're awesome, and like things are going well, but you see a couple of injuries here and there, and it's like, ooh, this is a tough to watch game. They really do go from like a, NFC championship game contender to like, man, this team might need to rebuild.
Sure.
Which is shocking.
Do you have a question for you?
Yeah.
Currently, the 49ers are winning their division, and you're not in the playoffs.
It's more of the spirit of the thing.
The spirit. Okay.
Also, like, I think I'm in like a 4-way tie for the playoffs.
You are, but that would have you out based off points scored.
Sure, in week 6.
I'm just saying what the standings say, John. And don't get mad at me.
I think out of the
your
playoffs
team.
Feels harsh for where my team is, but whatever.
I'm just saying you're out of the playoffs. If the season ended right now, you would not be in the playoffs.
And it doesn't, so I don't have to worry about that.
That's true. All right, next is Tyler Bradshaw. His team, what's his team? Oh, the Treble. Yes. I don't know why I wrote names down. I didn't write team names down. For Tyler, I wrote the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
So I put the Bears because when I think of the Bears, I feel like their season's been rough. Like, I feel like I feel like they've lost some dumb games. Like, Caleb Williams has looked shaky. But then I see they're 3-2 and they're on the up and up, and like they're doing well. And like
Yeah.
I think the wide range of outcomes were in existence for the Bears, where it's like they could win their division and they could bear it up and be 4-13 this year. Like, I feel like no one really quite knew where to put the Bears. The other thing too is they'd made some big splashes this offseason. They shook up the whole offense, and I think most people were like, yeah, like these are exciting changes. Like, they're better on paper, but like, will it work? Like, and I think so far it's kind of worked. And I think with Tyler, it's mostly not worked, but I think he's in a spot now where he can make a run and get back into this thing. So Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I don't hate that comp. I think the problem with that one is like the optimism of the Bears coming into this season was like genuinely they might win one of the hardest divisions. Like, the Vikings were getting some hype. The Lions just came off a NFC Championship run. The Packers had just acquired, I think the Packers were 4th in Super Bowl odds after the Micah Parsons thing. And so the Bears are like to say that they were in contention to win that division is this is an expected great team. And I think that that's just not per se true for where Tyler came into the season. Now, obviously results matter more than perception, but I think the reason that they have similar perceptions now is more because Tyler kind of is what we thought he was, and the Bears are not anywhere close to what we thought they were.
You think so?
Some of the games that they've lost have been, they've lost 2 games, but both of them are that was disappointing.
Sure.
And some of the games that they've won, it's that was disappointing.
They blew Dallas out. They beat the Commanders in Washington last night. What was their third win? Somebody bad, I think.
Yeah.
They lost to Minnesota.
We might be getting into some semantics here. But
sure. I don't know. I think if you're a Bears fan, you're encouraged.
I think it's hard to watch those games and be we've got it figured out. It's
Sure.
But my comp for Tyler is the Dolphins.
That's rough. Please explain. Please explain.
I think that there's a lot of excitement coming into it. You kind of expect them to be maybe have a shot or be a middle of the pack team, and then they kind of just fall a little bit shy of that. So like
they're like miles shy.
okay,
Fire their coach shy.
well, the idea is like they were expected to be an average-ish team, maybe a little above average, and they're a little below average.
I think they were supposed to be below average. I don't think there was a whole lot of optimism.
I thought there
around
was
the team.
some like 8 to 9 win optimism for them.
I think that's like on the high end of what people were expecting.
Not what my perception of them was. So maybe it's a bad comp, but whatever team you want to insert there,
Sure.
like you thought they were going to be.
How about the Chicago Bears?
Oh,
Sorry.
you thought they were going to be a middle of the road team, and they've just been a little bit under that.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think who that would be, but anyway, we'll move on. All right, next is Evan David, 3-3. I went with the Kansas City Chiefs for Evan David.
Okay.
He won last year, which I know the Chiefs didn't win last year, but they've been a perennial contender, as has Evan for a long time for most of this league. And I think a lot of people were thinking with Evan at the beginning of the season, like, is this the end of, like, is Evans just going to tear it all? Is this the end of Evan's team? Like, is he going to is this the rebuild? Is this going to happen? And then I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs feel undefeatable, and even with Mahomes, they're never really out of it. But I think there were some people who were just beginning of this year were like, is this the year that they finally just it's not it, right? Like, it's just a bad year.
They don't win multiple playoff games.
Right. They somehow and then surprise, they're good. Like, they figured out. I know Evan made some big trades. But now it's like looking at Evan's team, it's like, oh nope, he's fine.
Yeah,
like,
he's fine.
He'll be really hard to beat, and he's going to be a contender, just like the Chiefs.
I love that. That's really good, especially Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl this last year, but like that, the king status to, pauper status, right back to it kind of thing. I like that a lot. I came at this a bit of a different angle, and I want you to hear me out here because it's going to sound bad, but I mean this is a compliment.
Okay.
I've got them as the Giants.
That is bad.
And
Please explain.
The reason why is because they took literally the exact same career arc this year. In after week two, Evan said, I am throwing in the towel. I'm trading all my pieces. And he threw in all this stuff. And then a week later, he acquires Bijan, and everyone's like, oh, he's fine. His team's right back to it.
Right.
The Giants had thrown in the towel on Russell Wilson.
Right.
And experienced the world's fastest rebuild in the middle of the season.
Are you this in on the Giants?
I'm not this in on the Giants. But like after week 6, and like he's played 3 games, like let's pump the brakes on like the big talk, but like you want to talk about like optimism around Caleb Williams? The optimism around like specifically Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo and what they do for this team.
I guess I just, when I think of the Giants, when I think of best case scenario for them this season, I think of this upstart team that is inspired by their young players who play better than the talent on their roster. And when I think of Evan's team, I think of like when things are clicking, like he's gonna be right there winning like potentially the title.
Okay, sure. And I know one thing's out of the Giants. And that's this again, it's not meant to be disparaging.
Sure.
It's like I was trying to think of like who went through the world's fastest rebuild.
Okay, all right.
And it's
that's a different take.
The answer is Evan. He went from literally like the oldest, baddest roster, and then a week later, everyone's like, he's got 2 year 3 top 5 running backs. How did this happen?
That's John. That is an interesting take, which I would expect nothing less from you.
That's how I think.
All right. Next is Will Kelly. Will, I have you as the Indianapolis Colts, so you should be honored.
Ooh.
So I think like Will's team had some good players going into the season. It's like, okay, maybe if things go right, like he could be good, which I think the Colts have some really talented players. Like they've got like outside of the quarterback position going into the season, we're like, we feel good about this roster, but like we have no faith. Like it just feels like Will, it was like, even if I put a good team together, like it's just not going to happen. And I just feel like how consensus was going in with the Colts this year. Boom, they're like top whatever. Like they're Will and the Colts are both like, holy crap! Like when this happened, like they're juggernauts.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the other thing too is, the only thing is like with Will, it's like I think even if his team's awesome, with just how he's been in the league so far, it's can you really trust his team? Like, can you trust him? You know, I mean, like, as long as he doesn't, I mean, if he doesn't make any trades, it's probably fine. But, like, I think there's, like, is he going to screw it up somehow? Or is he just going to get screwed over by, like, injuries or just the fantasy, whatever? And I think the same way, that's how we feel about Daniel Jones, where it's like, oh, man.
When is it going to blow up?
When's it going to blow up? When is this going to, like, turn out the way we always knew it would?
Yeah.
So, Will Kelly, Indianapolis Colts.
I like that one. That's a good one. I actually had him for incredibly similar reasons as the Broncos, where it's like the Broncos in any given week, it obviously, like, the Jets game was ugly, but if you take out that one, like, the only other loss they have is to the Colts on what I think a lot of people would say is a terrible foul.
Broncos won against the Jets.
Oh, sorry, they have two. You're right. They'd be 4-1.
Who they lost? They beat the Eagles.
If you take out the Colts loss, I guess is my point, where a lot of people say like they should have won that game. Yep. They're 5-1, and that's tied for the best record in the league.
Yep.
So with the Bucks, so I think it's one of those where it's like they're supposed to be this kind of like good team, and they've been this really quality team. Maybe not great, which I think Will has definitely crossed the line to great. But like. I don't know if anyone would call the Colts a great team yet either. It feels early. But I want to be a great team so bad.
They're first in point differential.
It's crazy. But this is not a Colts podcast. But like the Broncos where it's like, hey, you were supposed to be pretty good. And you're kind of doing better than I thought you would.
Yeah. No, I respect it.
So...
All right, next is my team. I hate to say it. This was the hardest one for me. I don't know. I feel like it's just been a very ho-hum season.
You feel like there wasn't a team in the NFL good enough to represent your team?
No. No. I don't know. It's just been... I've had some injuries, and I had a bad loss, and I've had some good wins, and it's just been like, okay, 4-2. Like, fine. I put Lions. Detroit Lions. I mean, they were supposed to be good. They have been good. Nothing's perfect. They've not looked... They've had a couple stinkers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like, it's kind of boring, but I was kind of like, okay, who is no one talking about right now? Because it's like, they're doing what they should be.
Yeah.
So, Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Similar reasons. I had you at the Bills.
Yeah, well, that was my second choice, actually.
Yeah, it was like, you're doing well. Maybe you're doing a little worse than people want you to be doing, but like, you know, you could see a world where it could all go wrong, but like it's not going to.
Yeah. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Go Josh.
Go Josh Allen.
That's boring. But anyway, moving on to someone less boring. It's Ethan. 5-1. The Meats. Bringing it back. All right. I feel like we're going to have the same one, but we'll see. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, he's different than me. All right. I went with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-1. They have the third best record in the NFL, which is insane. So the reason I went with the Steelers is because the record looks great, but I don't know if anyone really trusts that. Like, I think there's a lot of, like, okay, you know, he's people have played poorly against him. The Steelers are a good team. Like, I feel like everyone's like, yeah, the Steelers are decent. They'll be hard to beat. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not gonna lay down. Like, Ethan's team's solid, it's a solid team, but it's not like 5-1 good. Like, I don't think it's like, best record good. But I thought it was interesting, like, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 13th in the NFL in point differential, so like they're middle of the pack as far as that. And their wins are against Cleveland, Minnesota, the Jets, and the Patriots. So like the Patriots are a pretty good win, but the other ones are like and they were like really close games. So
a lot, like historic number of game-winning drives for Baker.
Yeah. But then they lost to Seattle, which is like a fine loss, but
that's a good. I would say that's a quality loss.
Yeah. So anyway, that's like Ethan. Steelers, really good record, but like probably hitting probably doing a little better than they should be.
Yeah. I said again, very similar logic on this one, but I said the Bucks. And that is because it's a tower that's building upwards, and you trust that like the tower will continue to go up. But at the same time, it kind of starts feeling like a Jenga tower at a certain point, where it's like, how much do I really trust some of these layers?
You're gonna get some real pushback from this segment.
Okay.
Hear me Bucks out. Are royalty.
No. Okay, hear me out. For Ethan's roster, it's like a lot of the awesome is like unsustainable performances from receivers kind of thing. Like JSN being just like a juggernaut week in and week out. And I love Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think he's awesome, but like it feels like he's scoring 25 to 30 every week. And as someone who owns a lot of awesome receivers, like it just can't keep going that way.
Sure.
Whereas the Bucs, it's more like how many receivers can you injure before you don't have anyone else to throw to?
They're getting close. It's kind of crazy.
And so, like, I think that they're going to start, like, juggling guys back in to just re-injure them, apparently. But, yeah, like, they're, again, kind of like the Bills, where it's, like, maybe a little bit more real than the Bills. You see where it could go wrong.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Finally, we have Matt, top of the standings. This is the first time where we put the same team, but for different ODL team, like the same NFL team for different ODL teams.
Okay.
This team has already been mentioned by you. For Matt, I put the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, as everyone knows, have been absolutely crushed by injuries. I don't know how many pieces away they think they are, but they're winning anyway, right? It's like, they're getting hit,
Yeah.
they're losing their guys, but they have so much talent and good coaching and good management that they win anyway. And I don't think anyone's really concerned about either one of them. Like, I think both of them are going to be playoff teams. Like, I think they're, I don't know. It seems like it doesn't matter if it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. They keep winning. We'll see about the Fred Warner injury, but
I think he's done for the season.
He is done for the season, but
he
we'll see how that.
And broke
yeah, he's done for the season, but we'll see how it affects their defense.
Sure.
Yeah, we're with 49ers.
Sure. Yeah, I respect that. Obviously, my comp, I saw them in a very different way. I think that there does come a point where like it's the Ravens thing. Like there's just too much. And there does come a point where it's you just can't win. Like they've lost the best linebacker and a top 5 pass rusher for the season.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gonna add up eventually. And I think for Matt, when we had him on the pod, we were talking about like, hey, some of these starters aren't necessarily ironclad, but then it's like, step down into his bench and it's like, oh, there's a lot of similar, kind of hard for the bottom to really fall out on this.
I don't know. Go look at the lineup he's trotting out against you this week.
I saw Jacoby Myers on there
It's
earlier.
rough. He's not even the worst starter.
But
It's not great.
I had Matt as the Packers.
Okay.
Where you look at them and you go, gosh darn it, this is a talented roster. Like, I don't think, and Mac, I know you don't necessarily get into, like, the defense of it all when we talk about football.
Nope.
But, like, they're genuinely, like, loaded like crazy at every position group on defense. And then you look at their offense and it's like,
they should be good.
Yeah, like they've got like 4 or 5 receivers without Jaden Daniels, where it's like, yeah, it's a starting caliber receiver, and it's kind of that Colts thing of like, it's just there's not really a true one, but there's a lot of twos, and you can definitely get away with that. Josh Jacobs is awesome, Tucker Kraft has been awesome, Jordan Love has been really consistent, and it's just like, this team should be a Super Bowl favorite, and then they're 3-1-1, and you're a little bit like, what's happening? Like they tie against Dallas on national television, even with the loaded defense, and they, lose randomly to the Browns. And I think that's Matt, where it's just like every time he loses, I'm just like, I don't know how that happened.
He's 5-1 though.
Yeah, I know, but like that's what I'm saying. It's like every time he loses, I'm just like, I don't know how that happened. Moving on.
I think you might beat him this week. I think you got a good shot.
Well, that has a little bit to do with bye weeks and injuries.
Sure,
but
it does.
Again, it's just one of those rosters. I stand by it. I think if it's top tier, undoubtedly, maybe number 1. I think I'd probably put it number 1. And it's one of those where it's like when he loses, it's like, weird. All right, still number 1.
Sure.
Yeah.
No change, no panic.
Yeah. So, okay. Mac and I were inspired by how much trade talk feels like it's happening in the NFL right now. I don't know if you guys were paying too much attention to that, but like if your team is above 500 right now, it's just that time of year where people are like, could you trade for Max Crosby? Could you trade for this guy or that guy? And so what we did is we went down the list for every person's team, and we pulled one player that we think could realistically get traded that would vastly improve your roster situation.
I'll be honest. My trades are probably not realistic. they're more like, hey, like, if this guy got traded, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
But most of these guys are probably not getting traded in the real NFL.
If I pulled Justin Jefferson away from J.J.
Yeah,
McCarthy,
that's
never going to happen.
I missed that memo, so mine are truly in a fantasy world.
Sure.
But we can all dream.
We can all dream. So let's just do this. Let's start with my 10, since mine are a little bit more this guy to that team.
Sure.
And yours are a little bit in a different mindset.
Sure.
So going down the list, I'm going to do it in alphabetical order for our owners. For Adrian, I've got Tez Johnson going to the Texans. The thought process is, when all healthy, this is wide receiver 5 on the Bucs. They're not trotting him out there. So what you do is you send him over somewhere that really desperately needs wide receiver help from a guy who looks good with a good quarterback.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm very skeptical.
Okay.
So I just feel like the Bucs are ravaged right now.
Sure.
And we've seen like a couple big plays from Tez Johnson, but like I don't think we've seen a consistent performer.
No, but he would have the opportunity on the Texans to be that kind of guy.
I feel like the Texans are cursed. Like I
Maybe.
think like Jaden Higgins right now, like that's like a perfect landing spot for him with how the injuries have come out.
Sure.
He's like the wide receiver 2 on what should be a good passing offense.
He's like unplayable.
It's like even Nick. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather be wide receiver 5 on the Bucs when a lot of their guys are hurt than wide receiver 2 or 3 on the mess that Houston seems to be on offense right now.
Sure. And maybe that's true. But giving him a consistent opportunity at least makes him like, when everyone's healthy,
maybe
usable.
Maybe you'd rather maybe Tampa Bay should just trade away their top 3 wide receivers, and
there we go.
Tez would take over.
All right, so for Adrian, I've got the Bucs doing something unprecedentedly stupid.
Yep.
And then Tez Johnson will elevate because of that.
Yep.
So love it.
Good.
Love it.
I knew I would improve your idea. It sounds like I did it.
You know what? It was just a matter of time. For Dallas, I have A.D. Mitchell going over to the Steelers.
How about A.D. Mitchell just going anywhere but the Colts?
Anywhere but the Colts.
No, I like the Steelers, though. That's good.
The Steelers are known for fixing receivers or, like, getting the best out of flawed people.
Getting the best out of head cases?
Yes. And I think A.D. Mitchell is maybe not that yet, but it's real close. And I think that, there's opportunity there as far as the receiver room goes. And he wouldn't have to be the one, but he would at least be starting on a weekly basis as opposed to a healthy scratch because he did one stupid thing.
John, I love that. He needs a fresh start. And it's DK Metcalf. And then I think the wide receiver 2 right now is Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
Which plays very differently from Adonai Mitchell anyway. I like that one. That's a good one.
And that would, again, you're getting a usable something out of a nothing. But as far as something that seems unusable at the moment, A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
I think, and
they're not going to trade him, though.
No, they won't. But he is, and we talked about this before the podcast, maybe the single most disgruntled player in the NFL vocally right now with how his
on a good team
role is doing.
Yes.
Well, even I can't think of anyone off the top of my head where it's even on a bad team, even on the Jets, Garrett Wilson is not talking about Justin Fields the way that A.J. Brown is talking about Jalen Hurts.
Sure, that's a good point.
And so I've got a bit of an off-the-wall one. And I've got A.J. Brown going back to the Titans. And
we'll show you, A.J.
Yeah.
Now, you mess with Nick Sirianni,
you mess with the Bowl, you get the Titans.
That was good.
But, so the argument here is from a fantasy perspective, you can't do too much worse than he's already doing.
You can, and it's Tennessee.
Well, but hear me out. Tennessee is a lot. If you watch the Tennessee games, it's a lot of Cam Ward standing around staring at no one open. And now he has a lot of issues with getting people the ball and all of that. But we've seen really awesome receivers succeed with less than talented quarterbacks purely because they're the only guy on their offense who gets open.
Are you that out on Ridley?
I'm pretty darn out on Ridley.
I think it's more of a Titans problem than it's a Ridley problem.
It sure could be. But there's a world here where they just swap them You say, hey, here's Calvin Ridley and a first-round pick. Give us A.J. Brown back. And you get A.J. Brown, and he comes in and is just like, I get 16 targets a game just because this offense is so
I don't know
barren.
if Cam Ward's throwing the ball 16 times a game.
He's actually throwing it 17 times.
Okay. Okay.
But
all right.
It's really born from the idea that, like, he's doing nothing.
It's been rough. I think he said a good week recently, right?
I think this last week they
around.
made a real effort to get him the ball, and he got a lot of check down stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Brown's got to go in our dream fantasy land.
Yeah.
I'm sure Evan agrees.
Yeah. But talking about some lower stakes players now, Mark Andrews.
Okay.
I think he'd be a really good Saint.
Okay.
My thought process here is Rattler seems to really love the idea of a deep threat, and they don't really do anything with that. So it's a lot of checkdowns. It's a lot of, like, I'm passing to Kamara, I'm passing 5 yards to Olave. Get someone who's going to, be that safety blanket and free up your receivers to go a little bit deeper down the field where Rattler is traditionally maybe a little better anyways.
So you just want an upgrade over Juwan Johnson, because Juwan Johnson's kind of been that and been really sneaky good this year.
Yeah, but, like, Mark Andrews, you got to imagine, would be better.
Yeah, so you just want an upgrade.
Yeah, it's an upgrade to Juwan Johnson, but also, like, talking about the Baltimore situation, like, they have Isaiah Likely, and if they're ever going to sell old assets, this is kind of the year. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense for them, like, you get someone throws a third or a fourth at them, and it's like, Saints get an upgrade, Baltimore isn't competing for much at this exact moment, so.
Okay. I don't think it'll happen, but.
It feels somewhat realistic.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You get shredded for that one later. All right. Next up for me, I have Alec Pierce going to the Giants. Now,
I don't want to trade Alec Pierce.
From a Colts perspective,
I
don't want to move on from him at all.
We're down Adonai Mitchell and Alec Pierce.
There's
now. What's going on?
You know what the funny part is? I almost traded Josh Downs too, but there's just no one left.
It's just because you own Michael Pittman. That's just what this all along.
Tyler Warren and Michael Pittman, just A-B. The idea there is when you're looking at Jackson Dart this year, there are rumors, very heavy rumors, the Giants are trying to go get receiver help because they're trying to evaluate Jackson Dart for this season.
Okay.
Alec Pierce is both a good guy for Jackson Dart right now and a great compliment to Malik Neighbors down the road.
Okay.
Because what Alec Pierce does for we're going to get a little Coltsy here. What he does for the Colts offense is he spreads it out, which really opens up both Jonathan Taylor and all the other receiver options that want to work underneath. He forces you to play all three levels of the field. Cam Scadaboo would really benefit from that. Malik Neighbors would really benefit from that. A rookie quarterback who just needs to be able to see guys open would really benefit from that. And that's without even talking about, like, the 40-yard bomb that would happen, 4 or 5 times a game. So I think Alec Pierce to the Giants would really benefit me because it's all of a sudden it's like a usable receiver as opposed to, like, Michael Pittman insurance. And I think it would be good for the Giants. It would just be terrible for the Colts.
I think I like Pierce better in fantasy on the Colts than the Giants, to be honest with you.
Not at the moment.
I don't know. Jackson Dart looks good, but he's not fantasy friendly.
Not at the moment. But it's been 3 starts.
Yeah.
So.
All
right. My next up is Caleb, and I have Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Going to the Seahawks. So the Jets.
He's got to go somewhere, man.
The Jets are obviously blowing up, and honestly, it kind of feels like a coin flip right now if he's even going to be a Jet in a few weeks.
Has he publicly said anything? Like, why is there all this talk about him moving teams?
He came out after the Broncos game and said, I was really confused by how we handled the end of the first half. And frankly, so was everyone.
Yeah, that was weird.
But there's also this level of, like, the Jets, like, keep trying to be competitive, and keep getting pushed lower and lower and lower, and now they're just the worst team in the NFL. Or at least record-wise they are. And so I think there's this belief that, like, and there's been some refuting from Jets ownership, but, like, it might just be time to maybe not just rip out, the chairs, but rip the studs out and just start over in some capacity. We've seen NFL teams do it before. It doesn't always work great, but it just feels like it's time. move Sauce Gardner, move Garrett Wilson. So I have him reuniting with his college teammate that he actually pairs almost perfectly with in Jackson Smith-Njigba, because what they do is so different, but also they both kind of do everything. They just do it from different places on the field. And so having that like threat opposite Jackson Smith-Njigba to really hold defenses accountable feels like a realistic trade for the Seahawks, and getting out of New York has to be an upgrade.
For sure. For sure. Anywhere's better than there. Maybe other than the other New York team.
That was considered. Okay. Mac, for you, I have Breece Hall going to the Chargers.
Well, hey, whoa. Now I have Vidal now. They're set.
Well,
don't mess up this Vidal thing for
Probably
me.
not.
They still have Hampton.
They have Hampton.
What are you doing?
Breece Hall's in a contract year. And if the idea is Hampton is not going to make it out of this season, and you're not going to re-sign Breece anyways, send Breece somewhere that he can actually contribute this year. And the Chargers are in a really hard division.
I am confused. I thought this was supposed to benefit the owner of his player.
It does.
No, I would be livid if he got traded to the Chargers.
Would we be okay? So the idea is Omari and Hampton went on IR, so 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But is it going to be 4 weeks?
I have Vidal. Don't do this to me. No.
I don't think that there's...
Breece Hall has everything in New York. The New York Jets are bad, but
look how many carries he got this last week and how much he scored.
He's having a good season.
I think
the backfield is his. Braylon Allen got hurt. I don't care the Jets are bad. No, don't do that.
I think at the absolute,
trade him to the Chiefs. I'll accept that. Trade him to the Chiefs.
At the absolute worst for you and him, and sure, Chiefs, whatever.
All right, there we
go.
But
like at the absolute worst for you with him going to the Chargers, like when Omari and Hampton comes back, it would be largely split.
Oh, but I lose Vidal too.
Vidal's not going to split with Hampton.
Vidal's going to be awesome for the next month, maybe. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Okay, but then Breece is awesome for the next month.
No, well, then I'm at a wash. I've just lost Vidal at that point.
Okay, it gets Breece out of New York and also gives you something consistent because he's played 1 week.
I don't want Breece out of New York.
You know what's going to happen? A year from now, we're going to circle back to this podcast, and you're going to be like, why was I so high on Vidal?
I know. It's okay. It's just so rare to find someone on the waiver wire with a pulse.
That's true.
Okay. Wide receivers. I'm stepping in because this is my team. You can't mess with it. Wide receivers. You desperately want them to be traded to competent offenses.
Sure.
Desperately. Like, that's why we're talking about whoever. But running backs can be on bad teams, and I'm like, hey, if they're getting 4 to 5 catches a game and they're getting carries and they fall into the end zone a few times, that's all I kind of need.
Is that what the Jets are going to give you, though?
Breece Hall has been good enough for me. And I would rather him not be traded somewhere where he's going to have to, lose a workload. Like, I like the workload right now. I know
all right.
It's been mixed results with him, but like he's like his ranking this week is 13th. I'm happy with that. Like, I knew this season
he was
with
already
Breece,
13 this last
that's
week.
His rank for next week. Like that's what his ranking is for next week.
He had like 5 points.
This year, I knew Breece wasn't going to be great. Like, it's not going to be a great Breece year, and he's been about what I expected. I don't know. I'm happy with him getting the workload, but
fair enough.
If it's your team, you can have.
There's also again. I want to restate it. There's also a world here where Hampton's out for like 8-10 weeks.
It could be. I just feel like I know you probably didn't look at the bottom of my bench and see that I had Vidal sitting there when you made this list.
How could I look past him?
Vidal changes this for me because I'm like, it ruins the whole thing if Vidal's there.
Okay, all right. Matt, I have Jacoby Myers going to the Bills.
It's a good one.
Yeah, get him away from the Raiders' nightmare of an offense and get him to a team that desperately wants a win.
Isn't he kind of Shakir, though? He's kind of Shakir. He
Oh.
does what Shakir does.
Yes, but again, kind of the same way that Andrews and Johnson, like, it's just a pure upgrade.
Just a better version.
Yeah. And so even if it's like, hey, we have, like, it's kind of like the, Tyreek and Waddle have succeeded in the same offense before. And you feel like if Josh Allen's good enough quarterback to make two guys who do a lot of the same things make sense. So, I don't know. But
I like that one.
Specifically for Jacoby Myers, that would be a boon.
Quick note here. I'm going to take over for a quick second. I found this so funny. was watching the Bills game last night, and Dan Orlovsky was calling the game, and Shakir caught that 4-yard pass and then juked 2 defenders and got the first down. It's a great play, but it would crack me up because Orlovsky said, Shakir leads the NFL in yards after catch, and plays like that are exactly why. When he gets the ball, he's nearly impossible to bring down. He's tough. He gets yards. That's why he's leading the NFL in yards after catch. And I'm like, he's leading the NFL in yards after catch because he catches every pass 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And he plays for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was like, Dan Orlovsky, slow your roll. Shakir's good, but it's purely anyway.
Sometimes the announcers throw out nonsense, and I'm just like, dude, I've been watching the NFL seriously for 6 years, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Famously difficult to bring down Khalil Shakir.
Yeah. If I could pick one guy in the NFL. Okay, for Tyler, Charbonnet to the Cards.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interdivision trade, but it's one of those where you're like, if they're offering a second or a third, genuinely desperate, we want to compete this year kind of thing. I
think he's a 4th at this point.
Probably, but again, I'm saying if the Cards are over offering for whatever reason.
Okay, sure.
Then it's we'll trade in division for, the 40th pick in the draft, whatever. But yeah, I think it would be a great pickup for Sharp.
Win-win.
Yeah.
It's a win-win-win.
The win-win-win because we as viewers win.
Mm-hmm. The Cardinals win, the Seahawks win, and Tyler wins.
And Tyler wins. Win.
Kenneth Walker as well.
Oh my gosh, so many wins.
But it'll never happen. The Seattle's just gonna.
Mac, you're an enjoyer of Game of Zones, right?
Yes, I like Game of Zones.
One of my favorite episodes is the one where Brooke Lopez gets traded out of the Nets, and he's talking about how many wins do they have? And they're like, they have 40 wins. He's like, oh, that's so many wins.
Man, Brooklyn Nets still catching strays.
Catching strays. Okay, last one. For Will, I've got Brian Robinson going to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Again, there are a lot of these that are kind of interchangeable. If we want to send Breece Hall to the Cardinals, or we want to send Brian Robinson to the Chargers, or whatever, there's some pieces of this that you move around, and it's it's just teams that need running backs. Teams that would do well with that kind of running back kind of thing. And I think Brian Robinson is probably just a strict upgrade over Pacheco.
I have this weird fear that if the Chiefs went and got Brian Robinson, this 2-headed running back attack would just become a 3-headed running back attack.
Potentially.
I don't know. Well, we were giving each of them 9. Now we'll give all 3 of them 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. That wouldn't shock me in the slightest.
Yeah. Mahomes he starts getting a bigger lead on those yards per attempt thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, again, maybe some of this is a little bit interchangeable, but Brian Robinson is not being used by...
Not at all. I don't really know why they traded for him. Seems weird.
I think it was CMC insurance, and if CMC gets hurt, maybe.
They had Gorendo, my guy.
Gorendo was awesome, but I think
also hurt.
Robinson is probably better.
No, watch Gorendo tape.
Fair. Gorendo was good last year.
Yeah,
it's okay. He had his year.
Go watch it. Yeah,
but just a guy who's sitting on a bench, not doing anything right now, and going somewhere where he would do something.
Sure, makes sense.
So,
being able to see the field.
Yeah,
be a plus.
So those are my 10.
Sure, I'll go quicker. These are strictly players. Get this guy on a different team. Doesn't matter who it is. Just not where they are now.
Sure.
So for Matt, I went with Blake Corum.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like everyone feels like he's a starting caliber running back.
Ish.
Probably, or at least good enough to do more than
rough at points, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Kyron. Also, he has Kyron. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He has Kyron, right? So it's okay, just...
diversify.
Yeah, and then he can pick up whoever, would it be Jarquez Hunter, maybe. Somebody could go out and get him. And more Eagles talk. Devontae Smith. I mean, he's as little as Brown is getting. Smith's getting less. If he was on a team airing it out more, put him on the Bucks or something.
His week 5 was kind of nutty.
Yeah, he had a good week. I mean, he like 3 times a year. I'll have a good week, but other than that, it's just
AJ Brown sidekick.
Nothing. Yeah. I said Malik Neighbors. You're clearly for my team, Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I'm just tired of him playing for New York. I know Jackson Dart supposedly is. I'm just get him off this team. That's a little greedy though. I don't really anybody on my team that's I had a hard time with my team. Everyone was they're okay there. I'm okay with keeping them there, but
you have a lot of good guys in good roles.
Yeah, For Will's team, I went with Lad McConkey. I think, I don't know, it's just been a weird year, and QJ's kind of, we talked a lot about it, but if he goes somewhere that's a little more wide receiver needy, I think the Chargers would be fine. They're never going to trade him. I think these are all like dream world trades.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It seems like he could go somewhere and be like the alpha. Right now, he's kind of like what is he? We don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think where that would be, though.
Buffalo, Kansas City. I mean, like, or not Kansas City. Buffalo.
Not Kansas City anymore.
Buffalo. He'd be bonkers in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I think about where wide receivers should go, it's almost always Buffalo. So I can't say Buffalo for all of them.
That's fair.
This is more Titans hate. Calvin Ridley. We talked about this. I think it's a Titans problem, not a Ridley problem. I don't know if he'd be like a stud anywhere else, but it can't be worse than this.
I mean, he was not great on Jacksonville.
He's better than this.
He was better than this. That's true.
Yeah, I think we're kind of done with Ridley, but I feel like, I don't know, he could have one more resurgence on a good team, like a Rams, like a OBJ Rams type thing.
Sure. Legacy player you get for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I don't know, but just get off the Titans. I went with Charbonnet.
Hard not to.
For Matt, or no, for who's it? Tyler's team. I mean, yeah, it's just like, I'm sure Tyler would agree. For whose team is this? I can't even think. Who's Ray Davis is on your team. I said Ray Davis. Curious what your thoughts are. I feel like he could go somewhere, and he's shown that he can he's shown that he can take a full workload.
Yeah, I think the problem with Ray Davis is he's just that like ultimate backup type where it's like, even when it's kind of like Nyheim Hines a few years ago with the Colts, where it's like Jonathan Taylor got hurt and then Jordan Wilkins was the starter, even though Nyheim Hines like got real snaps, and it's like he's just not seen as a starter.
Yeah, it's probably true. I just think if he's behind someone, maybe he could at least get a share of the workload as opposed to just being.
Got a touchdown last night.
Yeah, it was a good touchdown. Looked good. Next is Caleb's team. I went with Addison, Jordan Addison. It's pretty obvious. This was on my mind because Will and I were talking about Addison for so long, and we were both like, man, if he just gets traded, like...
Yeah. It's incredible.
Watch out.
Yeah, it's incredible how good he is and how wasted he is there.
Yeah, well, it's twofold because he's on a team that's... The passing offense isn't great, and it's also... He's always just going to be he's always going to be behind JJ, so... and then for Dallas's team, I went with Travion Henderson.
Use him.
I don't know what the Patriots are doing.
I don't understand
it. Just use him. It feels like free Aaron Jones, like free Travion Henderson. Like, what are you doing?
It's one of the single most confusing uses of a draft pick I've ever seen.
I don't know. I mean, they're winning, so they're like, oh, whatever. But just use him. Free Travion Henderson, please.
Yeah.
And then this is the last time I'm going to shit on the Titans. Mostly because this is probably the last thing I'm going to say during this pod.
Well, they have relevant players past this point.
But Eric Iomenor? Is that how we say it?
We're going to go with it.
For Adrian's team, he's on the Titans. I think everyone thinks he's good. Like, he's been good. It's just like he's on the Titans. I'm so over them. They're the worst.
Love having him in the AFC South, though.
Oh, it's great. We get to play them again. Love that.
We're not done with the Titans yet.
No, we're not. But yeah, those are mine. None of those are going to happen, but we can dream.
Sure. Okay. Well, let us know what you guys think. As far as actual, this week's matchups, Mac, could you potentially share with the class who is going to be favored in each of this week's matchups?
Yes. So this week's matchups... there are 5 of them, in case you did not know. That's are 5 this week.
2 more than last week.
Yes. No. What? You got me. I was just agreeing with you, blanket. I'm like, no. All right, so the current lines. I play Adrian this week. I am projected to win by 31 points, 148 to 117. We have... Kevin Scrantonicity versus Treble, Tyler's team. Evan is projected to win by 9 points, 138.79 to 130 even. We've got Caleb and Dallas going at it this week. Dallas, it's a little misleading because I think Dallas hasn't set his lineup. I know he has. His team's just not good. That sucks. Caleb's projected to win by 46 points,
Ooh.
136 to 90. Looks like there's some buys for Dallas and Ibuka being out. Definitely.
Yeah.
This is rough. I might have to rethink my Saints.
It's like mowing your grass when in the middle of winter where it's like, oh, nothing grew. Oh, wait.
Yeah, he's got Kincaid on bye too. Dalton Kincaid's on bye.
That's tough.
Yeah. All right. Next we have you're playing Matt. Big matchup this week. Due to buys and some injuries, you're projected to beat Matt by 8 points, 145 to
You don't have to clarify it.
137. Well, I think the viewers would be confused to hear that you're actually projected to
My
beat
non-playoff
Matt.
team versus the
the 2 and 4 Onions,
the gift
the
that
Dallas
is-
Cowboys. No one just
the
like
Cowboys versus the Niners.
style over substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cowboys over Niners. You're betting on the Niners. I mean, you're smart. All right, and then we've got Scott's Tots looking to bounce back this week against Ethan. Ethan, I believe, has been projected to lose, I think, 4 out of 5 weeks, and 5 out of 6 weeks, and he's won 5 out of 6 weeks. He's projected to lose again this week by 13, or 12 points. 140 for Will as a projection versus 128 for Ethan.
Okay. All right, who do you got?
Who do I got? I'm probably gonna go a lot of chalk. I'm down 2 matchups. We broke even last week.
Yeah.
So I'm still down 2 matchups. I'm gonna pit myself to beat Adrian. I keep picking against myself. That's the difference. I've picked against myself twice, and I've won 2 of those.
It's insane, and I tell you it's crazy every week.
I don't know, man. I don't ever feel good about it, but I'm winning this week, I think. Then we got Evan and Tyler. I think Evan gets it done. Bijan plays under the lights tonight, so or that under the lights that week. So Evan over Tyler for me. Followed up with Dallas and Caleb. Dallas, yeah, Caleb's gonna win that one. We got John and Matt. I think you'll get him. I think CeeDee Lamb's back. You don't have a ton of buys. Yeah, I think you'll get him this week. Weird not calling that an upset. It feels like an upset, I don't know, but it's not.
That's Tuesday.
I think Ethan's luck runs out this week. I think Will gets him. So I'm going all chalk. That would probably regret that, but I don't see any upsets this week.
I'm going to go down the line same, except I'm going to flip myself and Matt. I'm going to say Matt beats me purely because CD might not be back this
Yeah,
week.
that would be a problem. I didn't do my research.
Well,
Research.
it also inspires a little difference. Like, how great is this if I just say, Mac, you go first every week, and I'm going to pick the same picks that you pick every week, and I guarantee a win.
That's true. That's a good point. We should do these blind, but we don't plan that far ahead.
No. But, all right. Mac, do you have anything else for the viewers?
No. Just happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you again for another hour-long join with us. And as always, let the best man win.